So most of you are probably familiar with this website. So this was the one that came out in 2008 or 2009. It was very user friendly. So you could go in and browse by year and then county. So if you want to find Down here, we're going to Galway. Down is here, GED, and we have a list of the townlands in Down. Mostly spelled according to the place names branch spelling, standard spelling, which is now not the case on the 1926 census. So a lot of the townlands spellings on this census in 1911 are different in 1926. Clonboo, for example, has CLON in 1926, and CLOON is the official spelling. So that's something to keep in mind. If you can't find the townland, it might just be spelt differently. So if you haven't seen already how to search it, so this is the main, I'm going to the main page of the National Archives. So nationalarchives.ie. They have a link here on the front page to search the 1926 census. And this is the form that you'll get. So you get surname, first name, county, townland, and district electoral division. Does everyone know what a district electoral division is? Mm-hmm. They're, yeah. So anyone know what the 4 district electoral divisions in Down Parish are? So there's Down Tuam, Down Galway, Liscanon, and Kilower. Okay. Oh, thanks. Is that no? Might be my phone. Hang on, I'll leave on my phone. It's my phone. So 4 district electoral divisions. So if you know your townland, you can go in and search. So if I search for Kilgill here, I'll get a list of everybody in Kilgill. Kilgill is spelt the standard way. If I search for Clonboo, I'm not going to find it. If I spell it with 2 double O's, which is standard spelling. So I'll get a different Clonboo beg in a different DED, but our Clonboo is not there because it's spelled with 1 O in the first place there. No. So if you're not sure, you can go in and look for your DED. So on this map, sorry, I should have said that. There's a map here on the right-hand side, which if you click on it, becomes interactive. And if you zoom in, we can zoom into Galway. We get the population statistics for Galway. If you're interested in that, it's great, but we're more interested in genealogy. So if we zoom in, we will get all of the district electoral divisions, okay? So if you don't know which district electoral division you're in, just find your location on this map and it will give you the DED, okay? So we have Down here. This is what's called Down Galway because in the Union of Galway. This is Down Tuam in the Union of Tuam, Liscanon and Kilower, okay? Liscanon and Kilower go outside the boundaries of the parish. So the southern end of Kilower is in Down Parish and the northern end of Liscanon is in Down Parish. Liscanon itself, of course, is in Lacca Parish. So if you want to find townlands in Down, DED, this is Down Galway, you can click townlands here and we see Clonboo is there with its 1 N at the start. So you should be able to find whichever townland you're looking for using that. Where did I do there? Townlands, gone. Here. Okay, so you'll see some other townlands there are spelled differently as well. Down is missing its GH in the townland. It's spelled with the GH in the DED name. Is there anything else there? Shankill does not have a H in the standard spelling. It only has 1 standard, is it? Yeah. And Castle Quarter is usually spelt as 1 word, I think. The rest of them, I think, are okay. So what else can we say? One of the most interesting returns that I found in Down Parish is this one, the O'Melia or Malloy family in Clonboo. So Seamus O'Melia, for anyone who doesn't know, was a poet and he wrote for the Connacht Tribune for about a decade in what they described as beautifully idiomatic Irish. So here he is on the 1926 census. So this lists Greaney Mulia, which is his mother, aged 83, his 2 sisters, Bríd and Sheila, and this is Seamus himself here. And we think more than likely he filled in this form. This is his magnificent handwriting. So he was 50, his mother was 83. No, sorry, he was 43. His two sisters were 50 and 39. So Bantrach Gamposa, not married, born in Clonboo. So this 1926 census is the first one that has a column that asks for the townland of birth. The previous censuses ask for the county of birth. So here they're all listed as born in Clonboo. Okay, Clonboo. Speak Irish and English, Catholic, and here under occupation, they have written Nílam Anan Ein Ober Yenavanish. I'm not able to do any work now. So this is the 83-year-old mother. And in the information about employment, so here, most people around here have entered information about their farm. So they've entered here, the farm beg egg, Brígini Wilia. So 16 acres, so statute acres, that's Rockdula. Idir Ulk is ma, so between good and bad. So this really gave people an opportunity, I think, for the first time to put in a bit of extra information that's really nice to get now. So there was no space for this, and certainly wasn't encouraged in the 1911 or 1901 census. Seamus himself, so his two sisters are entered as a Quinalchi, keeping house. His occupation is Igmuna Gaelga. And the further information, Visheg Munu, done Ryan Card Educus, Skull Iha, night school, Don Skull Shaw, Dalhununish. So the school is closed now. So they've given a lot more information there than was strictly required, which is really, really nice for us to get now. What else can we say? It is actually, yes. So if somebody was employed on the farm, they were required to give that information in this box here, but also at the bottom of the form, it asks how many acres was the head of household farming if they had land. Would they've entered? I think most people were probably very aware. If they'd recently purchased their land, they probably would have been making twice yearly payments on it, so they probably were familiar with it at that stage. I've seen some people have entered Irish acres, and then the enumerator came along and replaced it with the statute acres.
By any chance, do you know what the green writing is?
It's
that somebody just after doing
yeah, I think when it was centralized and they were doing statistics on it afterwards, I think they annotated it so that they could kind of flick through it and see at a glance. So when it was sent to Dublin, I think after it had been collected. Yeah, so they were compiling all the statistics. Yeah. So that's my understanding of it.
People, it wasn't the one that did exercise, kind of the online part.
No, they wouldn't have interfered with them. No, I think done at the time. Yeah.
Order the language. I know there's been a lot of them in Dublin. It's the same handwriting, but the order Irish English is different according to the person.
And was the form filled out in Irish or English?
Some of them was Irish and English, and others were English and Irish.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's how I'd interpret it. Yeah, I don't know if there was an instruction for that, but probably people using their intuition and saying which one. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Is anyone anything they want to ask me about searching or anything they're not sure of? Has anyone not been able to find people in the 1926 census? Johnny? Yeah. Cones? Yeah. Do you know where she was? Yeah. And he is there, I think. Yeah. But she doesn't turn up anywhere else. Yeah. Anyone else encountered?
That's a preview on the list of townlands.
So Castlecreevy is in the Scannon. So let's no, it's in it. Sorry, the Scannon electoral division. So if we go into the Scannon, hopefully it's here. Townlands. Yeah, so here it is.
Oh,
And again, it's spelt there with an extra E. So it wouldn't come up if you spelt it VY in the search form. Donegal is also spelt non-standard. Gorthru, Carabeg. Clogging, I think, is AUC in the standard spelling. Carrahy is wrong. Clohan is very wrong. Carrini is wrong. Carabeg again. This one, yeah. What do this one? Yeah. Right.
The Form B. There's 4 Form Bs.
Okay. Yeah.
They buy the if you go into the Form B1, there's 4 houses listed there.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. That's the back of the other one. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So I think, does it list parish here? No. Corundulla. No. So on the 1911, it lists the parish. So if you go into Clohan 1911, you'll find one in Anadown, one in Lacca, I think. So these 2 houses are in Lacca, and these 4 are in Anadown, I think. Or Claregalway, maybe. Yeah.
and both are in Gaha.
Yes.
Interesting.
Hmm.
We have to GA get on to GA with that.
Great. Yeah. Graylish. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. It's a very Gaelic pronunciation. Yeah.
Spelling.
For the townlands. Made up, I think. Yeah. Well,
They become standard.
they were standardized in 1911 for the most part. So I don't know why. Is it less attention to detail? I suspect maybe. Yeah. Well, it wasn't the population that was deciding the name. It was, I presume it was the guards who were doing the census that were filling in those forms. They should know, yeah. Yeah. But they weren't from Galway either, most of them. Yeah. I think that the ones in Carndulla, there was 2 from Donegal, 1 from Kerry, and yeah. So what else was I going to say there? Anyone notice any missing houses? I found 5 so far. So, yes. So there's one house in Arganian that was missed because it's separated from the rest of the houses in Arganian. There are 4 houses in Fira in Carlastrand Parish of Glynns that aren't there at all. Those are the 5 I found so far, but that's just my own small search in Anadown and Carlastrand. I'm sure there are possibly more. And do you think it was there, should be there in 1926? Yeah. So missed then, I guess, as well. Yeah. Yeah. And did you look in the other townlands around it? Or yeah. 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 Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So the one that was missing in Arganian, I searched Kilgill, I searched Carton, searched Tumnaholla, and it's not in any of the adjoining townlands where it might be. So my conclusion is that it was missed, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah.
Missing out the A form, B form.
Yes. Yeah. The house isn't recorded either there. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. It's not just a missing form. It's yeah. Yeah. So yeah. And I don't remember ever finding a missing house in 1911 or 1901. A house that I expected to be there that wasn't there. So yeah. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else?
So the B form was filled by the guard one.
Yes. Yeah.
Collected the A form, whatever.
Maybe when they were being distributed, even. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah. Or the guard at any rate. Yeah. I'd say so. Yeah. Yeah. But also, I noticed the the district that's listed here. Let's see if I can find it. So there's a sub-district listed here. So that I don't think is on the previous censuses. So I think this is a Garda sub-district. So Kilgill is listed under Currandulla. Greaney is listed under Currafin for some reason. So yeah, I think the guy from Currafin didn't realize that he should have come back that far along the road and found this extra house in. Yeah, I think so. And the same for Fira. Fira, I think, is under Currafin, and Manus Flynn is under Hetford. So again, close to the border. I think they just missed it, which is sloppy. Yeah, I know. And there were 5 guards in Currandulla, so it wasn't as if we didn't have enough to go around.
Describe the houses.
I don't think so. I don't think they describe the houses anymore. So previously, you had whether the house was thatched or slated. Number of windows in the front was there. All you have now is number of rooms occupied by each family. Okay, so they've retained that, but then not included any of the other information. No outbuildings either. So there was a very good description of the outbuildings as well in 1901, and even more so in 1911. So but it is transcription search, being able to search the transcriptions. So at the moment you can, no. So if you go back to 1901, 1911 search, so either in the old version or the new version, you can search by relation to head of household, religion, literacy, occupation, marital status, county of origin, language proficiency, illnesses. And no, they didn't collect that information either. So at the moment in 1926, this is the only information you can search, okay? Surname, forename, townland, DED, and county. So my understanding is these are the extra search options that are going to be added in due course, hopefully soon.
Missing houses. I wonder if the missing houses reflected a certain suspicion of the census as a whole, because you can't imagine that the people without forms didn't realise that their neighbours had forms that they were being filled in.
That's a good point, yeah.
I didn't go looking for them.
Yeah. Apparently there was a public information campaign as well at the time. So it is surprising, yeah. I don't think it was mandatory to fill in the census. You'd imagine there should be less suspicion. Well, I suppose. I don't know, maybe echoes of the Civil War, maybe, yeah. Some of those houses that are missing would have been strongly Republican, so might have fed into it, maybe. Possibly, yeah. So yeah, that was going on in the background as well, yeah.
In 1926, you were, say, visiting another house, and you were listed.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. And you'll find some cases people are entered twice then as a result, because people didn't know that they should leave them out in their own house. Yeah. At the moment, what they say is go into the main contact us page. I think they probably will add this. I think they were just under time pressure. Yes, I don't know where it is, but there's a main comment page.
Homepage. The options at the very bottom.
Oh. Down here. Contact there. Oh yeah, contact us, yeah. So at the moment they're telling people as of yesterday.
Very often is census.
Yeah, so they've set it to the default, yeah. So you'd imagine they're going to be inundated with queries there. There's a lot of transcription errors, and particularly the ones that were filled in Irish, where they're yeah.
So are you saying eventually you will be able to search the name of a husband and wife together? Right now you cannot. Is that correct?
No, I don't think that would be an option either. No, only search for one person at a time. But you can search for a person's position within a household. So if somebody is listed as wife, you'll be able to search for wife. Yeah.
And you say census after that? Or
36. Yeah. We skipped 31. Yeah. Yeah.
Ward sub-district there, that generally refers to a gas station.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. So the Garda stations were Carndala and Corfin. Yeah.
It tells you where the wife was born now, doesn't it?
Yes, I forgot that. But that's John, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
I think your great grandmother didn't enter the correct information in Kilgill.
Oh, but Nora, was it?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. 'Cause she was with her grandparents, Martin Skerritt and Bonnet Tubber.
Sorry, no. Which one was it? This one, no? Oh, this one, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's done by the statistical people after the census, but I don't know what the X indicates. So there are numbers here that indicate something they were counting, but I don't know what the X indicates.
Also, John Brennan, genealogist and writer, said there were things redacted. I guess one was the people still alive, apparently, in the census. And the other redactions, I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of, no. I think that was the one thing that they were offering, was to allow people still alive to redact their information. Yeah. I saw an estimate of over 1,000, but hard to believe. Yeah, sounds exaggerated. But the ambassadors they have, there's only 30 or 40 maybe, so I don't know. They reckoned a lot of people abroad born in Ireland before 1926 somehow. I don't know. US maybe. It still seems very exaggerated though. So John was talking there about listing the birthplace of each person. So I looked at that in Kilgill. So everyone in our house was born in Kilgill. So let's look at Cunningham. That's another one. Everyone was born there. So look at Burks and Cunninghams, if you don't mind. So we have John and Mary Ellen. They're both born in Kilgill, so she was actually born in Monroe. So that is not correct. But William Cunningham was born in Bunnatubber, and that is entered correctly. And the rest of the household were born in Kilgill. And this is the case for a lot of married women in Kilgill anyway. They didn't actually enter their correct birthplace. More than likely because it wasn't them that filled in the form, and whoever filled in the form just put the same information in every position, which is unfortunate. But that's what happened there. And if you move over the road, the same thing happens along there.
Might be identifying.
Yeah.
Where the head of the household.
Maybe, yeah. Was there anything else there? Let's see this one. I have to move to the next page. I think so, yeah. And probably the longer they had been in the house, the less likely they were to enter where they had actually come from, maybe. Now, where am I going?
Doing the rounds on social media, a lady called Alice Knox.
Oh, yes.
They asked her for marital status, and she said single. Then in bracket underneath it, thank God.
One other interesting one, our parish priest at the time was Father Michael Hannon, and he entered as his employer, employed by the Lord of all.
Yes.
The housekeeper worked for Michael Hannon and not for the Lord. Nora Malone from Tourmakeedy. Hmm. Hmm.
What age is she?
36. Hmm. 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 And she gets a 22 for being from Mayo. I don't know what that means either. One other thing I was going to look at, Craig. So yeah, one household that I found. So Delia Kelly is entered as the head of this household, and James Kelly, her husband. So it's the only one I found that is reversed. So he married into a widow. Yes. So yeah, it was her place. Yeah. Sorry, what did she say? I think she did. Yeah. Yeah, she did. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. And he was assisting his wife on the farm. So yeah. She is a farmeress and he is a farmer. Yeah.
Their children were both married men.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Oh yeah, the spelling, yeah. Yeah.
Joe,
Mm.
did it say married twice?
Does it actually? No. It just says that she's married for 4 years and 2 children born to the present marriage, but not to the previous marriage.
It's that they went from being a child to being a son or a daughter to being single.
Oh yeah, it was 14, was it, or even younger maybe? It, there was it's an instruction somewhere, I think. Yes, children age under 15 state whether both parents alive, father is dead, mother is dead, or both parents are dead. But also the box was used for adults being single, married, widow, or widow. So most people ended up mixing that up and putting in that all the children were single instead of stating information about their parents because they've overloaded this box with the two things rather than this one. So yeah. Mm.
Some of the psychiatric hospitals just recorded last names or initials.
I think in Ballinasloe they might have recorded the full names, and in others they recorded just initials. Yeah, certainly in 1911 it was all initials in all those institutions. Yeah, I didn't check either. No.
A lot of people who are trying to relate the census to the civil record and might not be aware of the civil records. It might be nice to have a quick
Yeah.
look into that just for anybody who knows.
What can I use to avoid offending anyone? Okay.
Before 1900.
Okay, so we'll go into Annadown, Galway, and Cutching Tea, and Welsh. You're all going to have to change your spelling now. So into this household turn. So Thomas and Mary. Now Mary has entered her correct, or somebody has entered her correct birthplace as Knockbluff, and they did cross it out actually because Knockbluff is not a townland. The townland is Annadown. Yes, so it was recorded correctly. Okay. And it lists the rest of the families. See, Martin is your grandfather? Yes. Okay. So it says Martin was aged 17. Okay. So do you want to go and find his birth record then? So if he's 17, what year does that mean he was born?
1909.
9. Okay. Okay, so we'll go a year either side. So the civil registration district is Galway. So Martin Walsh, no E, put in an E if we want. Galway is so when you type in Galway here, it'll offer you County Galway or Galway Civil Registration District. This is Galway because it's what's it called? Superintendent Registrar's District of Galway. I think it's the Union roughly, which is the Galway part of Annadown, Galway. So we'll search for 1908 to 1909 and birth and to sign in. Oops. And search. So there are 5 Martin Walshes born in 1908, 1909. And we could search all of them, but we know the correct one is the second one here. So click here and we get the image of the record. Okay, so it is this one here. Martin Walsh, okay. So you can do the same with any of the other entries, just estimate the birth year from the age in 1926. The same for marriages. If you know somebody's been married 5 years or whatever, you can go into this and find the corresponding marriage record there as well. Many people use this website before? Yeah. Okay, great.
Another question in online.
Yeah.
What is the difference between form B1 and B2?
I think it says it. I think B2 is just the back. They're not actually called B1 and B2 on the form. I think 1 and 2 is just the page number that they put on there. It's just a continuation, yeah, on the back.
Yes, I use it often.
Irish, yeah, okay. Anything else? I presume all of the townlands in the parish are there. I didn't check that, but it looks like they should be based on the map. What else? Has anyone got any other examples that they want me to look at?
Can you print? You have a form up there. Can you print that in one A4 sheet?
You can, but I think it'd probably be very small because it's a strangely shaped sheet. You can, yeah. Probably better to print it on 2, I would say though. Yeah. Yeah, so zoom in a bit.
Stay there, the wash, the knee there.
Yeah.
But when you go to the birth record.
Yes.
I was horrified. That's the only time it's ever been spelled with the name.
But that was obviously filled in by
I say
by the house.
Rather than the house.
If you
Mm.
find it at the bottom.
Oh,
Now,
no E. Vindicated. Where would you buy Tipex in 1926? Yeah, Dennis McBride from Donegal. Yeah,
They're saying it's not.
I think so, yeah.
Going through the guard online.
Oh, I would.
I think that would probably.
I would say so, yeah. It does, I think.
Someone into that child who was enjoying the sense of
What?
sport.
I wonder, is that done afterwards or English and Irish? So they're 13, sorry, up. Yeah, Irish.
Isn't that interesting?
It's very strange. Yeah. But some of these I think were filled in afterwards then as well because they've see there's 2 different hands there, this and this. Yeah. There's an awful lot more variation in them than in 1901 and 1911. Lots of things scratched out and written in afterwards and adjustments made. I think an awful lot of people were confused by all of these extra boxes and the multiple things in the same box caused a lot of issues for people. Yeah.
answer to my for wet.
Probably didn't need to do it that often. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You want to show maybe one or two, remember any that he's or nephew or visitor? Dane.
As in, just happened to be there overnight, or? Oh, yeah, there was one actually in.
One name by itself.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for here now. So here, Mary Brady. So this is Greaney's in Glenriva. So at the bottom of this form, Mary Brady is a visitor. She's 62 from Ballybrooke Beg. And she's a maternity nurse. So I went in to look at the records, and Katie Greaney here had a daughter on census night.
Oh,
So Mary Brady is a maternity nurse. That's why she was staying there that night. Yeah. Yeah, after they filled out the form, yeah. Yes. Yes, that's right. Yes. Because they didn't normally, yeah, unless they were actually living in the house, they wanted them to be. Yeah. 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 So we have one in Muckridge actually. Yeah. What's going on here? DD. But this is my grandfather here, Thomas Farrer. He was 10, says he was born in Rinnaharnia, which is correct. This is in Muckridge. And in the house, there's Kate Murphy, 49, but still listed as a servant girl from Craigduff. And general domestic servant. Private. So she had entered Bridget Farrer as her employer, and then that was changed to private, I think probably by the enumerator. Bridget Farrer is the head of the household here.
We went to Heinz's in Cumberland as well. They had a visitor and there's somebody working there.
Okay, so Cumberland.
You spelled that one right.
Heinz. So again, Margaret Hines there is from Barana. They've entered that correctly. And at the bottom, John Burke from Gortrue is listed as a boarder, age 71. Bridget Flaherty, age 19 years and 6 months, is originally entered as a visitor and then changed to an employee. She's from Rahun, is it? I think, yeah. Shop assistant. And John Burke is an old age pensioner. It's on Form B. So if we go to Form B here, it says date on which Form A was collected, and 23rd of April is there. You will occasionally find some other nice bits of information. So if I go into Shankill here, which is the next townland to Muckridge.
And here, I see only one Church of Ireland person, a man from Cavan and a John GED. He was working for Emily Ryan, who had 100 acres.
Right.
She was born in this hill. So I think Emily Ryan was.
That's right, yeah. That should be Ross Hill, I think. Yeah. Which is near Roscommon. So here, this is Shankill. So Farrer's in Shankill. Martin Fahey is a nephew of James Farrer, the head of household. But over here, it lists that he was working for Bridget Farrer, who's the Bridget Farrer we saw in Muckridge on the other form. So they actually had to know the number of acres that their employer had, which is a rather strange question, really, to ask. But yeah. Yeah. Subject to flooding. A lot of flooding. And I found the same over in Macluggin, I think. So if we go back to scanning on, see how this is spelled. Not spelled like that. A plugin. Okay. Yeah. So here, ward. Yes. There's a Michael ward here. And the only reason I noticed it is when I went into the form, he listed as working for my great grandfather, Walter Cunningham here. It was nice to find those little details that you wouldn't really expect to find them, but they're really nice to find. Where's read and write? Oh yeah. Did they have read and write there? Did they ask that question? No. Oh right, sorry. Oh, hang on. No, that's telling them to write. So it's speak Irish and English. It's not right. Oh, they're only interested in read but cannot speak Irish, but it doesn't ask whether they can read or write English. Yes. It's under the employment, so it just means she was working on her own account, just for herself, yeah. I would say, yeah, it is, I think. Or probably maybe his writing either, yeah. One of them. Pretty much, yeah.
Right Irish and English, opposite person who's a native Irish speaker.
Native Irish,
Can
yeah.
speak English, right? English and Irish.
Okay. So it's native, yeah. But that's what the order means, yeah. Well.
There's no entry at all under Irish and English. It's that point.
Oh.
Any cases. And it was that way in the 1901 and 1911.
That's actually option 5 here, yeah. Do not write anything opposite persons who can neither speak nor read Irish. Yeah. Yeah. No, they were completely focused on Irish language, yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Question. Yes, a lot of people wouldn't have been, there wouldn't have been a standard spelling for their surname. So they'd kind of approximate what it should be based on the sound, yeah. And a lot of them, like Ward, sometimes spelled with an E at the end, sometimes not. So one of them here, actually, I think they've crossed out the E, or else it's just a blotch. So there's no standardization, really.
Crossed out.
I have relatives who are called Hickman, Hilfpeny,
Right.
and they regularly interchange that with Halpin.
Okay.
The Irish would probably Halpin. They went back and forth. One person would go back and forth regularly from one to the other for no reason.
Tricky to find them then, yeah. Was there anything else online?
No.
Okay.
I have a question about where I'm living in Florida. There's 3 birth households there.
Yes.
Living in one of those houses. I don't know which one it is. Is there any indication of house location?
Typically the order is correct along a road.
Okay.
But other than that, no, I don't think so.
I came across a fairly recent map in the evaluation office in Dublin with a very detailed up-to-date demarcation of the individual lots and houses. And it was before COVID. I just asked, and this guy said, "Sure, I go back and have a look." We brought up the street map. I took a few photographs of it, and I've since asked for it, and that's always been found off. But they did along the way do updates, even I'd say up until the 1960s.
70s even, I think, yeah. Yeah.
1970s, but the individual houses trying to find their access.
See my grandfather there.
Never found them very helpful in terms of bringing out maps in the valuation office. Yeah, yeah.
Tends to be over in the-
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is Bunatubber. I don't know if the order here indicates. Oh yes, okay. That's the house. I think. Well, Greaney's would be next door, right? I think so.
Say we should picture on the rooms and the windows. There is some
That would be
reference
Mary
to
Nevin's house,
rooms
yeah.
and windows.
So there are 4 front windows in Mary Nevin's, 3 in Greaney's. So they're the 2 Greaney houses actually that are in the Boring and Bunatubber. I would say yes, yeah. There were two houses in that yard. So those are the 2 houses. Yes. Yeah. I think so, yeah. Although Cunningham should be beside that then, shouldn't it? So
Cunningham's at the very bottom, isn't it?
yeah. But Tyrrell's and Noon's are in between them, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about the order.
News were up on the window.
Yeah. So
Windows isn't meant to have. 4 windows.
hmm. Hmm.
We're tearing one for the suburb.
That's a brother. Yeah. Yeah. Elizabeth and Edmund, yeah. 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 I think it is the Nevin one. I know, but I still think it's that one. Right. Anything else? Anyone?
So corrections are not going to happen very quick.
No. I think what they'll focus on is getting the other information searchable first. That seems to be their plan. Initially, they didn't want to accept any corrections. I think they were forced to change their mind on that. But still, it's great to have it. So we'll put up with the corrections. Anyone want to ask anything else? Or have we tea?
The thing, I had a day feeling like
I'll make it if you want, Pat. Michael.
Put up your talk about that collection.
irishgenealogy.ie.
I had a question somebody had earlier when the next census. I was looking, Googled it on lines 35.
36, I think. Yeah, yeah.
46, and then they start at every 5 years for a while.
Yeah.
Back to the ones. But I think in 1971 they said it was postponed to 1972 for economic reasons.
Yeah.
So the country broke.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I think we postponed, was it 2020 or 2021? Yeah, COVID pushed to the year as well, yeah. Yes, yeah.
When do you expect they will finish the other ways?
Don't know. They haven't announced it yet. But yeah, it's the same as the civil records. When are they going to arrive? We don't know. Yeah.
Hopefully,
Said the end of the year now. So
at the end of the year.
yeah, for the civil records, but the census, I don't know.
Winchell County, the DDs and the townlands are there. I have a great grandfather in Wicklow.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. Do you think he'd be in the same place as 1911? Well, you could certainly find. Okay, but he might have settled by 11. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That map is incredibly useful.
64 to 70, 1864 to 70 deaths. Yeah.
And they update annually with another year, most of the time.
Yes, yeah, which is less useful at this point, yeah. Anyone want me to look up anything else? What was the? Yes, that was kind of look. That's a good example though. So if we go Kulach, so I think it would be in Galway rural. Well, I'm not actually sure. If you zoom in here, actually hide this. If you zoom in here far enough, it will give you an actual old map. But that's cool out there, I think, is it? Yeah. So that's within this circle, which is, what is it? Galway North Urban. But I don't think it would have been in Galway North Urban. It's not listed there as a townland. Oh, sorry, it is. So, and what was it, Francis? Yeah. Yeah, so there's 78 people, so only 2 pages. Ward, Dublin, Francis. Would that be them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's Galway North Urban, then it's the electoral division. Yeah. Coolagh is the spelling, yeah. Yeah.
I think there's another one, CoolouGh, which is a slightly different place.
Briar Hill, I think, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else while we're waiting for the tea?
Electoral divisions as a previous one.
The Scannon. Yeah. I think it's probably still the Scannon today. I'm not certain of that, but I think they're the same today. The cities have changed a lot, but I think our ones are still the same. Yeah.